What's up, guys? On today's episode, I'm going to show you how to change out a first generation GM wireless charger out for a second generation. The second generation will charge the iPhone and it works a whole lot better than the first generation. So let's get to it. Alright, so over here on the left is the old style 2014 to 2018 GM wireless charger. I was able to get this one to work with my phone. I have an Android, but if you have an Apple product, it will not charge it. As you can see, there's only one actual charging coil in the wireless charger. When you compare that to the 2019 and up version, the newer version has 3 different coils in it, and each one of those coils is about double the size of this one, so it's pretty easy to see why this one works so much better than the old style. I was able to get this one to work with my particular phone. I have a Galaxy S7. I didn't really have any issue with it. The biggest problem I had with it is when I laid my phone in the charger, it didn't always immediately just turn on. I would actually have to basically flip my phone around back and forth until it recognized the phone and started to charge. It wasn't just a simple matter of tossing the phone in the wireless charger and having it turn on. And by the time I screwed around with, playing musical phone back and forth, I could just as easily plug it in and get it to charge that way. I'm hoping with this new charger, it works a little bit better. My girlfriend has an Apple product, so it should be compatible with that. But yeah, I'm going to take you guys over to my Colorado and show you guys how I got this installed. I realize not everybody has a Colorado, but this is going to give you a good idea of what you might have to modify or what you have to do to be able to get to this charger. I know some of like the Yukons and the Silverados and that stuff, it's actually built into the console lid and they're really easy to change. This one not so much. It requires a little bit more. I actually have to remove the inner liner of the console, and the wireless charger is actually attached to that. So with that, I'm going to take you guys over to the truck and show you how to actually install this thing. Alright guys, before we get started, there's a couple things I want to note here for you. The retrofit kit for the wireless charger, they're all the same part number that fits all of the GM vehicles from, I believe, 2014 to 2018. The easiest way to tell is if you have an iPhone and it will not charge, you have the old version of the wireless charger. If you have an iPhone and it charges, you have the new version. You don't need to do the update. I'll put a link in the description to the revised version of the wireless charger, as well as some of the tools I used for you guys if you want to do this to your own vehicle. But with that, let's go ahead and get started. So to do this, you're definitely going to need a set of nylon trim tools, and really all these are is just basically nylon pry bars. Keep you from marring up your plastic interior and keeps you from damaging stuff, because really without these, the only other way you're going to do this is with a screwdriver, and a screwdriver is naturally gonna scratch up the plastic and make it look like crap. So first thing I'm gonna do is you're gonna go around the edge of the shifter trim. Go ahead and pull the trim off. Next you're going to do, you're going to open the console lid, and if you look, there's a seam here along the side. You're going to actually take the whole console assembly and this whole top plate out of the vehicle. So to do that, you're basically going to take your trim tool, go all the way up this side, releasing the clips, all the way up the opposite side in the same place, releasing all the clips, and then there's some wiring that you're going to have to disconnect down here inside. Alright, so once you have your console free, there's going to be 3 plugs that you need to remove. The first one is going to be right here for the LED for the wireless charging indicator. I wasn't able to get the plug out of it. I actually just pulled the whole LED right out of the bracket on the console. The latch for the plug is actually on the inside toward the driver's side, so it's kind of a pain to get to. The next one is going to be the actual plug for the wireless charging pad. And then the third plug is going to be for the USB port inside the bottom of the console. So go ahead and pull your console out. But here's there's the wireless charging pad plug. Here's the LED I was talking about. There also is a wire retainer on the LED. And then finally, that is going to be the plug for the USB. So now that we got the console out, we're going to take this thing over to the bench and basically get the new module put into the bottom of the console assembly. All right, so to get the old charging pad out, use a T15 Torx bit, remove the bolt, remove the cover, and there's your old charging pad. So as you can see, holding these two, holding them side by side, the new one, the plug on it is a little bit different, so we're going to have to modify that plastic cover to clear this plug. So as you guys can see, this is what I had to go through to get my tray modified to be able to accept this new wireless charger. You know, naturally, not all these trays are going to be the same. It's going to depend on what application you're working on. But, you know, like I said, you can either spend money and buy one from GM or try to modify it yourself. So that's the route I went, but there's no reason you can't just buy one. So once you get your tray all modified and cut like you need to, it's going to look something like this. Now, it's not going to fit quite tight in the tray, but that's all you really need. You just need clearance for the plug. And then once you set this in place, the bolt's going to hold it in place, and the top of the console is going to keep the bottom from basically falling out. So not a whole lot to it, just make some cuts there, and then there's one other place you got to cut here. I'm sure there is a revised version of this that you can buy from GM, but let's be honest, spending a little bit of time with a die grinder or Dremel, that's free. I'm sure GM's going to charge you money for this. All right, back over at the truck. So before you go ahead and slap everything back together, the retrofit kit does come with this wiring harness. It's basically just an adapter to go from the new style plug on the new wireless charger and adapts it to the vehicle's wiring harness. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this in. As far as reassembly on all this stuff, it's really, really easy. Stuff goes together a lot quicker than what it comes apart because, well, think about it. You know, GM assembles probably, I don't know, 750,000 vehicles a year. They don't take them apart. They always put them together. So they make them for ease of assembly, not ease of disassembly. So the easiest way to get the USB plugged in is remove the USB plug from the console. There's two metal clips on either side. You just push in on the metal clips and it'll lift straight out. And then feed the wire up through the USB hole, and then you can go ahead and get this thing plugged back in like that, and then just push it back down through the hole, and then it will self latch. So there you go, that's in. Now all you're going to do is go through and push all that back on. You're going to put your shifter bezel back on. And there you go. Done. Now the question is, will it charge? Charging wirelessly. Perfect. As always, guys, if you guys like the video, hit like. If you want to see more content, go down and hit subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Alright, so I got my girlfriend's iPhone sitting in the wireless charger. See what happens. I'm going to turn the key on. Hey, look at that. Wirelessly charging the iPhone. The way it should have been from the factory. Thanks, GM.